You ready for math? Welcome back. Today is going to be lesson 9.2. Before we start with the math, though, I want to say shout out to Renaya. I hope you're watching. And I also want to give a shout out to Aiden, who is watching our videos. He moved earlier in the year, but I connected with his mom, and he's now watching my videos online too. So hi, Aiden. So lesson 9-2 on page 609. Today you actually need 3 objects that are shorter than the 10 centimeter strip. So I have, I sent the kids all a ruler, so they have a ruler, but for ease of them not confusing inches and centimeters, we normally tape over the inch part of the ruler, but because I did not have time to do all that before, I just didn't have enough time. If you just take tape and tape over the inch part, then the inch part won't confuse them. And if you didn't have tape, you could use a Sharpie, just something to block that side of it, so that way they don't see the inch part, because in the beginning when they start, it's confusing for them because they're not used to it. So you just tape over that section of it, and then they can only see the centimeter part. Now for today's lesson, we're only going to use to 10 centimeters, and normally we print these out, but again, we just didn't have time to do everything. So we're only going to measure to 10 centimeters today. So if you want to, for today's lesson, you could cover over the ruler to make sure they're using the right side of it. You could even cover over the part that goes to the 10 centimeter spot. So they don't even see the other stuff to confuse them, because sometimes it's just overwhelming. It's a lot to look at. It's very small. So they're only going to measure to here. So that's all they need to see, from 0 to 10 for today. So it's not perfect, but it will work. Everything right now, we just have to make it work. So I'm supposed to find 3 objects in the classroom, but I'm not in the classroom. I'm in my house. So in my house, I found these 3 objects. I found a Cheez-It, and I found a piece of gum, and I found this fork that I'm going to use as my objects. And it says draw the objects and then write estimates for their lengths. So I'm just going to trace mine. Boop, 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 boop. You could also have your cubes out today too, because they would help you think about, about how long is this or whatever. So if we do this, and then I'm going to trace my Cheez-It. Oops, or not, because it's difficult to trace a Cheez-It. I've never tried it before. Okay, so, and then I found this little baby fork. And I'm just going to trace the fork. You can draw it all if you want to, but just tracing it so you have the length on the paper is fine. I could make it look more like a fork if I wanted to, maybe. We all know Mr. Brunel is not the best artist. So this is my gum. This is a Cheez-It, or I'll just say a cracker. And then this is my baby fork. And for these pages too, just so parents know, the directions for this page are literally on the bottom of the page each time. In case something happened and I couldn't do a lesson one day, the directions for this page are at the very bottom. Or most of the kids know that too, but in case they don't know. So now we have to look at this, and if this is my 10 centimeter ruler, I have to think, how many centimeters do I think my gum is? And we're doing estimating, so we're just kind of guessing. So if I look at I'm just going to look at this. I'm not going to actually put it on it and measure it, because I want them to start thinking about how to estimate or make a guess of how much it might be. But if I know that this part from here to here is 1 centimeter, the size of your cube is 1 centimeter. So if you want to think about it that way, so if that 1 cube, how many cubes might that be? So I'm going to think about it that way. So like a 1 cube might go to there, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 centimeters. I'm going to estimate that my gum is 6 centimeters. Then for my cracker, I'm thinking, my cracker's probably only like 1, maybe 2 centimeters. So I'm going to put 2 centimeters there. And then my baby fork, well, if my gum is 6 centimeters and I can see my baby fork is longer than my gum, then I'm going to say, about maybe 8 centimeters, maybe 9 centimeters long. Okay, and you could go ahead and measure those out to see exactly how much they are. But for today's lesson, we're really estimating the length in centimeters. And our question today is, how do we use known lengths to estimate unknown lengths? So we use something we do know. We know that this is 10 centimeters. We know that this is 1 centimeter. So we're using what we know to try to figure out, what could these objects be? So you guys can stop the video if you want to, go find your objects, and then do this page, that's fine. Or you can follow along and do that page at the end. It's up to you.